Today we're going to talk about family FODMAPs and the practical ways to get food on the table when there's more than yourself to consider at meal times. This is a question I hear time and again and seems to be a real struggle for a lot of low FODMAPers. Many people don't realise that fructans are not soluble in oil. This means that whichever oil you prefer, you may be able to tolerate it flavoured with garlic or onion, which is fantastic news for getting quick and easy flavour into family meals. But you do need to stick to pure oils rather than low-calorie cooking sprays. Oils are available to buy in a variety of flavours from most major supermarkets, but you can also experiment with making your own. Some people tolerate these better than others, so go slowly at first until you find the portion size that works for you. Monash recommends up to a maximum of 1 tablespoon, but even as little as half a teaspoon can make all the difference to satisfy your garlic cravings. The most family-friendly way I've found of using this to my advantage at meal times is with the one-pot cooking method. Basically, you're going to prepare and cook your fructan veggies separately in a way that gives you all the flavour without the FODMAPs. Heat your oil in a pan that's big enough to cook the entire meal in. Add in your fructan veggies such as onions, garlic, shallots, or the bulbs of leek or spring onions. Now you need to have prepared them in a way that makes them easy to remove from the pan once they're cooked. So stick to a large dice or slice rather than mincing, grating or finely chopping. Fry them until fully cooked, usually about 5 minutes for garlic, leek and spring onions and closer to 10 minutes for onions or shallots. You'll need a fine mesh sieve over a heat-proof bowl to catch the hot oil. If you're feeling extra cautious, you could use the double sieve method, but it's not usually necessary when you've prepared your veggies right to begin with. Carefully pour your cooked veggies and oil into the sieve, making sure every last piece is out of the pan. At this point, if you're using a non-stick pan, you could also wipe it clean with kitchen roll. This is my top tip for anybody who knows for certain that flavoured oils don't agree with them. The flavoured oil can be used straight away to cook the rest of the meal and keep it low FODMAP. It can also be kept in the fridge for up to 2 days in a sealable, sterilised jar. I like to squeeze as much oil and flavour from the veggies as possible. Once you're happy you've got all the oil you need, put the fructan veggies to one side for later. Depending on your personal preference and the pans you're using, you may feel there's enough oil left coating the pan to continue cooking. Otherwise, add the flavoured oil, or any plain oil if you prefer, back into the pan to cook the rest of the meal low FODMAP. Make sure you've weighed or measured the rest of your ingredients to keep within acceptable limits. And to do this properly, you need to know how many portions the meal will serve before you begin. The idea being that when you come to dish up, you'll automatically know that your portion is low FODMAP. At this point, if you're feeling a bit flash, you can cook any other high FODMAP and low FODMAP ingredients separately, ready to be added into the main meal towards the end of cooking. To give you an idea, for this fried rice dish, I cooked 2 portions of Linda McCartney shredded duck and added in the garlic, leeks and high FODMAP seasonings. This then cooks alongside the bulk of the main meal, which is all within low FODMAP limits per portion. Once everything's cooked, combine the separate elements together with the main meal. For this meal, I cooked 2 portions of scrambled tofu to add into my pan. This created an egg fried rice style dish that served me for 2 main meals. For the majority of dishes and ingredients, as long as you've taken the time to measure everything in the beginning, then just eyeballing the portions should keep you within reasonably safe limits. These types of meals are best made using the variety of vegetables available with little to no FODMAPs, or with wide portion tolerances, such as carrots, red peppers, kale, parsnips and broccoli. Avoid using veggies that you have a limited tolerance towards, or weigh, measure and cook them as individual servings to add into the dish before eating. Family FODMAP cooking can be as simple or ambitious as you make it. Most often, we all eat the same meal from one pot, keeping things nice and easy. On days when you have more time, you can make things a bit more interesting by cooking separate ingredients, experimenting with flavours and keeping the whole family happy. Ultimately, the best long-term low FODMAP diet solution for you is the one you're able to stick with. This means getting organised, finding your cooking style, and a handful of go-to recipes that you rely on week after week. There are lots of ways to keep everyone's cravings satisfied. The easiest I've found is offering high FODMAP sauces, condiments and flavourings separately for people to help themselves. Things such as mango chutney, pickle, chilli sauce, garlic salt and hummus can all be added to a low FODMAP meal after it's been served. This can help the rest of the family to eat as closely as possible to their usual meals without feeling deprived. And if you're looking for low FODMAP flavour alternatives that the whole family can enjoy, there really are so many to choose from. My favourites include garlic oil, chives, basil, dill, spring onion greens, asafoetida, nutritional yeast, soya sauce, miso paste and lemon juice. And don't forget, once you've chopped the spring onion greens, to reuse the bulbs to grow your own continuous supply. Just pop the spring onion bulbs into a jar of fresh water and keep it on the windowsill. Change the water daily and you'll be rewarded with a new growth of greens week after week. This is my 5th lot of growth just from one batch of onions. I really hope you found some of these family FODMAP ideas useful. As always, I'd love to continue the conversation in the comments below and hear all your family FODMAP tips. Until then, thanks for watching and I'll speak to you soon.